Chapter 169, Battle in the Room. The rush of water persisted, and Lumion grew anxious, fearing that Hammer 8 might sense danger. He needed to calculate the height just right before pulling the trigger. Bang! The bullet tore through the drapes, leaving behind searing scorch marks. Hammer 8's hair stood on end before any of this happened. He paid no mind to the fact that he was midstream and promptly collapsed to the side. Yellowish liquid splattered in all directions. The bullet grazed 8's arm, striking the wall and narrowly missing Lumion on the rebound. Lumion's revolver flew from his grip after a missed shot. He seized the edges of the curtain, yanked it off, and used it to ensnare 8. Before 8 could recover from the agonizing cramps, darkness enveloped his vision, and he found himself wrapped in a cream-colored shower curtain. Unfazed, he rolled and concealed himself beside the bathtub. Then, he grasped the shower curtain with both hands, using it as an improvised weapon. With a soft whoosh, the curtain, now wrapped around Lumion's fist, veered off course, thwarting his attempt to strike 8's head. 8 seized the moment and rose, inadvertently tearing his pants in the process. He swung his heavy fist at Lumion, hammer-like. Lumion quickly raised his arm to shield himself, realizing that his opponent possessed exceptional strength. He couldn't withstand it. Forced to retreat a step in order to regain his balance, Lumion found himself on the back foot. 8 wasted no time, relentlessly bombarding him with a flurry of punches from both hands. Leveraging his height, long arms, and superior strength, 8 employed straightforward punches akin to cannonballs, neglecting any fancy techniques. It was only then that he could clearly discern the assailant's visage. Golden hair tinged with black, bright and light blue eyes, nostrils stuffed with bits of white paper, creating a peculiar sight. Seal, the same Seal who killed Margit and gravely injured Wilson. 8 felt initial surprise, followed swiftly by delight. He isn't that formidable, I can take him down completely. The washroom proved confining, with Lumion enduring the putrid stench. He suffered 2 blows from the towering 1.9-meter giant before finding himself forced 2 steps back, cornered near the door. At that moment, the mobsters outside heard the gunshots and hurriedly approached. One of them gripped the handle and pushed open the door. Just as 8's leg aimed for a low kick, Lumion's left leg suddenly swung back, forcefully striking the door. With a resounding clang, the partially opened wooden door snapped shut again, narrowly missing the mobster's nose. Realizing they couldn't breach the door for the time being, the mobsters drew their revolvers and aimed at the wooden barrier from various heights, but they dared not open fire. They possessed some modicum of intellect, knowing that the washroom was cramped, and they remained uncertain of the person on the other side. Blindly firing would risk harming or even killing their boss, Hammer, leading to unforeseen consequences. Capitalizing on his kick against the rear door, Lumion contorted his body, evading 8's straight punch and positioning himself beside his adversary. Delivering a series of rapid strikes, punches, elbows, knees, and kicks, Lumion sought to disrupt the enemy's assault before they could fully unleash their power. It resembled a pugilist, the kind who habitually expelled force with grunts of hech and ha, but now capable of only a single hech. Each time 8 tried to strike with force, Lumion took the initiative and forcefully blocked him. After altering his combat strategy, Lumion managed to narrow the strength gap between them. Not only did he regain some control, but he also utilized his greater agility to shift his body and change positions. Soon enough, the figure blocking the washroom entrance turned out to be 8, his back against the door. Worried that his subordinates might lack intelligence and open fire from outside, accidentally killing him, 8 quickly diverted his attention and shouted, "Do not fire." Despite Seal utilizing his technique to bridge the gap, 8 remained unfazed. He exuded immense confidence. As long as he acted in a normal manner, he was certain he could eliminate his opponent in the confined washroom environment. The only uncertainty was the duration it would take. Nevertheless, 8 remained vigilant. He continued to unleash powerful punches and kicks, attempting to force Lumion toward the window, creating an opportunity for his subordinates to enter. Fearing that Lumion possessed some kind of beyonder power, 8 believed that using the threat of a revolver would expedite the process of dispatching his enemy. Bam, 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 bam. Lumion faced the relentless onslaught of the pugilist's full-powered attacks without showing any signs of surrender. However, he found it increasingly strenuous. Throughout this ordeal, Eight's eyes darted to his surroundings, wary of potential traps or powerful allies lying in ambush. His gaze swept across the edge of the bathtub and landed on an open metal canister. What purpose does it serve? Before Eight could ponder further, Lumion's mocking smile appeared, accompanied by a curse as he struggled to block Eight's onslaught. Useless piece of junk, what are you waiting for? Those outside, come in and lend a hand. A buzzing anger surged within Eight. He discarded all other concerns and launched an unusually ferocious attack. Provocation. Lumion had added provocation to those two sentences. Confronted with the raging hammer, Eight, and his devastating blows, Lumion fought desperately to hold his ground. Occasionally, he relied on the flexibility of a dancer to shift positions. Unbeknownst to him, he was gradually being pushed toward the wall with the window. This allowed the washroom door to open, but the mobsters outside hesitated, fearing they might collide with Hammer if they kicked it open. They cautiously pushed it inward, inch by inch. In that moment, Lumion, nearly overcome by the putrid odor, keenly sensed Eight's waning strength and slower attacks. The sedative took effect. Lumion swiftly dodged to the side, regaining his balance. He threw a powerful punch, channeling all the strength from his arm and waist, launching a counterattack. Bang! Eight's arm, which had blocked the blow, visibly trembled, and his eyes betrayed a mix of surprise and panic. Why have I grown so weak? Why have my reflexes slowed? As Lumion grasped the state of his opponent, he unleashed 2 consecutive straight punches, forcefully parting the enemy's arms. Without hesitation, he closed the distance and adjusted his body slightly. With a swift motion, he drove his left elbow into Eight's chest. Caught off guard, Eight failed to react in time, unable to dodge the strike. The elbow connected, cracking his sternum. His vision darkened, and he struggled to catch his breath. Lumion didn't grant him a moment's respite. He smoothly shifted his body, allowing his poised right fist to collide with Eight's abdomen. He hadn't harbored any lofty expectations of rendering Eight unconscious solely with the sedative. After all, the other party possessed the ability to resist the effects of certain beyonder powers through sheer physical and mental fortitude, suggesting a high resistance to the sedative. Furthermore, despite the compactness and semi-enclosed nature of the washroom, with its bathtub, toilet bowl, and sink, the drug's potency would be greatly diminished. Lumion aimed to exploit the drug's influence to weaken Eight's combat prowess, slowing his reactions and substantially reducing his strength. In doing so, the tide of victory would tip towards him uncontrollably. Eight, reeling from the blow to his abdomen, instinctively curled up, becoming shorter than Lumion. Seizing the opportunity, Lumion raised his fists and swiftly hammered them behind Eight's ears. Bang! Amidst the cacophony, Eight's vision faded to black, and he slumped unconscious. It was the combined effect of a potent strike and the sedative. Lumion squatted down, using Hammer as a shield. The mobsters had already held the washroom door open for several seconds, but with Eight obstructing Lumion from their view, they refrained from opening fire. Now they witnessed their towering boss, Hammer, being taken down by the assailant. Lumion clasped Eight and offered a smirk to the group gathered at the door. Go ahead, fire. Why aren't you firing? One of the mobsters caught sight of the assailant's distinctive blonde and black hair, coupled with his rather handsome face, and suddenly pieced together a series of connections. Seal, your Seal, he exclaimed, his surprise evident. The same Seal who killed Boss Margit and threw Boss Wilson off the 4th floor. Seal of the Save Mob. He's back at it. Lumion keenly sensed the mobster's profound fear. He grinned and gave Eight's shoulder a friendly pat, brushing off the dust. Then he took hold of Eight and proceeded towards the washroom door, one step at a time. Simultaneously, he curled his lips into a smile. You've got 2 options. 1, leave this room now and seek help from your poison spur mob boss. 2, meet your demise here, one by one, at my hands. As he spoke, he advanced, a cold gaze sweeping across the faces of each mobster, as if contemplating the best way to eliminate them. The mobsters couldn't help but tremble as a similar thought crossed their minds. Regardless, Boss Hammer has been apprehended. If we open fire, we'll only harm him. It might be wiser to seek help from the boss. Well, Lumion snorted, urging them to decide. With a swift swoosh, the first mobster turned on his heels and fled the room. The others followed suit, abandoning any notion of confrontation. When no one remained, Lumion let out a silent sigh of relief. If those men had truly steeled themselves, their hearts unswayed by fear, the confined space of the washroom and their 10 firearms would have posed a lethal threat. Of course, 8 could forget about survival as well. They have no more than 4 minutes to reach Avenue du Marché from here. I must conclude the interrogation before Black Scorpion, Roger and his comrades depart, granting me ample time to escape the scene and locate Baron Brignies at Salle de Bal Brise. Just 4 minutes. As Lumion assessed the current situation, he squatted down and propped 8 against the washroom's door panel. Then, he dislocated his captive's shoulder joints and bound his legs together using a shower curtain. Opening the window, he allowed the breeze to circulate from both sides. With these tasks completed, Lumion removed the paper balls from his own nose, retrieved the metal canister containing the pungent gas, and held it to 8's nostrils. Achoo! 8 sneezed, his eyes fluttering open. Lumion promptly stowed away the metal canister, capping it, ensuring the other party remained in a weakened state. "What do you want?" 8 asked, fear and anxiety evident in his eyes as he recognized the person before him.